Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rechakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops at the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. You know, Esau has the master plan, like in the words of Rakim, thinking of a master plan, because ain't nothing but deception inside my hands. And, you know, he's getting ready to play hero after, you know, causing all this mayhem and chaos and destruction in the earth. And now that he's managed to, you know, destroy the world's economy because, you know, it plays right into his great reset agenda. He's now going to swoop down and play hero by trying to introduce a system of basically welfare for the world in the form of a universal basic income. And based on this report that I'm going to read, this is from the UN Assembly report, and this is in a PDF file. They're basically concluding that economic insecurity causes anxiety. You know, there's a connection between poverty and mental health. And the solution for that is to curb poverty by making people rely on a universal basic income system, which we told y'all that these devils will try to come that route. You know, break everything down, you know, systematically, cause all the people to become deprived and depressed at the same time, where people was going to, you know, look for some type of assistance, some type of aid, some type of help, because, you know, people are not doing too well. You know, there's more people out of work than ever. Everything is unaffordable, from gas to food to rent to, you know, mortgage payments, you name it. You know, so you got more homelessness. You got a lot of people strung out on drugs. They're on the oids and fentanyl and whatever else. So here come these devils with the solution, with the master plan. All right, so this is the summary, and it reads: the special reporter on extreme poverty and human rights, Olivier de Scudder, identifies the mechanisms that expose people in poverty to a heightened risk of mental health conditions, and he examines how, despite the extraordinary resilience of many people in poverty, mental ill health in turn can perpetuate poverty. So basically, this is proving that his eyes is set against the poor. He's looking narrowly on the poor, and you know, who constitutes and make up the majority of the poor? You tribes. Let's prove that. Let's go to, was it Zephaniah? Where it says afflicted and poor people. It is Zephaniah 3, verse 12. And it says, I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord. So Israel, we're afflicted and we're poor. All right. Scriptures talk about how the saints will be wearied out. You know, Jacob's tired. You know, they work the most, but make the least. you know, disregarded, among the nations. That's why you don't even have a seat in the UN. You got the northern tribes down in South America and the Caribbean sitting on all resources, and they're still living under third world conditions. Desperate, riddled with crime, desperation. All right, willing to work. Come to Babylon and they'll be willing to work whatever job. That's probably part of why they also brought in a lot of migrants into the country, because with people here already in the States, they demanding pay raises because their wages is not catching up with the inflation rates, and people are not able to afford to live. They're basically willing to either replace you with a migrant who's not going to complain at all, or AI is going to just take over your jobs. That's where it's at. People threatening to leave their jobs, or the unions going on strike because they demanding more. Well, Elon Musk did warn that AI is going to take over the labor force. Automation. You got self-driving forklifts and all type of AI technology in these different tech jobs and warehouses and stuff like that. So this is going to increase more poverty because that means more people out of work. So how are they going to make their money? See that? So Esau knows what he's doing. Okay, it's purposeful to have a lot of people discouraged. Threatening to leave the labor force. Discourage workers. So on and so forth. He knows what he's doing. All right, and this is part of his scheme. So let's go back to the report. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me get another scripture because it talks about how he would look upon the poor. Psalms 10. Yeah, Psalms 10 and 8, it says, he setteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. And the rich, they hate the poor. But Esau knows that the poor can be useful for his agenda. Our people, being who they are, they're going to go down to Egypt for help. They're going to, look to him for dependence. They're not going to look to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So Esau, he has that net ensnared, set and ready. It says, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself. Tries to play like he, really has care. He don't. He just thinking of a way to, put y'all and trap y'all into the system that he's setting up for you. It says that the poor may fall by his strong ones. And we can see right through them. Okay. So reading up, it says, identifies the mechanism that expose people in poverty to a heightened risk of mental health conditions, and he examines how, despite the extraordinary resilience of many people in poverty, mental ill health in turn can perpetuate poverty. He calls on states to move from biomedical approach to mental health, which treats it as a problem of the individual, prescriptions, putting people on those antidepressants, Zoloft and Abilify, Prozac. That's what they normally do, right? But now he's saying, no, let's go another route. Let's provide them with some type of sustenance, aid, right? It says which treats it as a problem of the individual to approach that addresses its social determinants in order to combat the global tide of depression and anxiety. More should be done to fight poverty and inequality and to address economic insecurity. So, this sounds benevolent. It sounds good, like it's good intent. But as the scriptures say, let's go to Sirach 14. Anytime this man is calls himself trying to do something good, just know that there is evil intentions behind it. Let's go to Sirach 14 and verse 7, and it says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. That's why it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right. Though he go crouching down, take good heed, and thou shalt know that thou, as a matter of fact, let me just go to it. Yeah, Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right. His nature is his nature. He's going to be wicked. Okay. So you understanding his nature, he does not change. Though he can try to disguise himself, he can crouch and humble himself, act like he got a solution for everybody's issue, but it's all to undermine you, because this devil, he has something in stores. He wants control. He needs you dependent so that he can control. All right. So let's go back. It says, in addition to increasing investments in mental health care, he identifies addressing the psychosocial risk caused by the casualization of labor, strengthening social protection by providing an unconditional basic income. Now, you seeing a growing trend of people online, crying about how they're overworked, they're tired, they're not getting paid enough. Some people working multiple jobs and they still making it hard to, make ends meet. They're one emergency away from not being able to pay a utility or their rent. You hearing all this talk, man. A lot of people stressed out. Esau, he hears all of it. He's paying attention and he hears it all. You don't think that he's been working on this plan? This man is diabolical. He's always ahead of the curve. Okay. So he's saying that all this depression and these people acting out right now is because of poverty. All right. So here he comes with, the solution to it all. Let's set up a universal basic income for everybody, which is ultimately going to come through his global digital identification system, which is going to be based on the what? The MOT to the B, the CHIP. It's going to be digital based and it's going to be controlled. That's what they want. And basically, they'll be the head and you'll be the tail. And that's what the curse that we're up under. The world is gonna eventually be the tail. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 24, and it says, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. So you got to go to him for the one of all things. He's going to lend to you. All right. He's going to give you your provision. And that's what he wants. He wants you to depend on him, where eventually this system, linking you to the image of the beast, that's going to be your connection. So you got to bow down and kiss the ring. You got to bow to the image of the beast. All right. And this ain't nothing but him heaping to himself all people. Like it tells you in Habakkuk 2. Because he has that evil covetous to himself. He wants all the power. He wants all the control. Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And we're going to have to live by faith. Seeing how they're cracking down on everything and causing all this, mayhem and, disruption in the supply chain, breaking down the economy, increasing the poverty levels, the poverty rate, the inflation increasing. So, our faith is going to have to be stronger than ever, trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahushua that he's going to be the one to provide for us. The Lord said he know you have need of all these things, roughly paraphrasing what the Lord said in Matthew. For all of the Gentiles, worry about these things, talking about, let me go to it. Let's go to Matthew 6. Yeah, Matthew 6 and 25, and it says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, which you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and body than raiment? So to prevent having anxiety, or cares of this life, the Lord is basically assuring us and comforting us that the Lord's going to take care of us no matter what situation we're in. All right. Especially if you love the Lord and you serve him. I always say this to the Hakim, why would the Lord starve out his saints that feed his sheep? So we're going to be good regardless of, what comes, even down to the time when the MOT to the B is instituted. And, you're going to have that in order to have any access to food, to make your purchases. We're going to take a stand on that, because we're not about to take this man's mark and worship his image. And even then, the Lord's going to take care of us. And we don't know how, but we know that the Lord, all things are possible with him. There's nothing impossible with the Most High. We saw what the Lord did with us in the wilderness. So it says, behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not much better than they? See that? So we're just going to have to step out on faith. All right. The just shall live by faith. So it's going to be that time to, put off the burdens of man, the anxiety, put off now the weak nature. Okay. Don't worry about anything. The Lord, he's going to take care of us regardless of what goes down. But we know not to trust in this devil. It tells you that in Isaiah the 10th chapter, that there's going to be a remnant that's not going to stay on him who smote them. Isaiah 10 and 20, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, and that's our oppressors, right? But shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And you look up that word stay, because, this devil, this beast, he wants you to stay on him. The word is sha'ai wa. It's like, sha'ain. Yeah, sha'ain. And it says to support oneself, lean, lie, rely. Okay? To lean on, trust in, support. And the Lord said, cursed be he that trusteth in man, that maketh flesh his arm. Vain is the help of men. So we're not seeking to this devil for help. We know that this is going to be tribulation that we're going to undergo. And the Lord is going to put us through that fire, and he's going to bring us out of the fire. Now, our people that are weak, our people that are, invested in their flesh, they're going to fold. Okay, they're going to jump in head first and look for this devil to save the day for them. All right, now they're talking about the different things that's going to be affected with this port strike. And it talks about how, different fruits like your avocados and your bananas and mangoes, your tropical fruits, also your coffee, your wines, your alcohol, it's going to be limited, and it's going to be highly priced because the demand is going to be high for it. So, our people are going to bug out because they love, foods that are, comfort foods. All right. It talks about in Isaiah about these women, being careless, how they're going to lament for the teats because the vintage is going to fail, and vintage is dealing with, your wine, the grape. So when that's out, what are you women going to do? You're going to fall into depression. Because a lot of people, they use alcohol and drugs as a coping mechanism. Okay, to numb themselves to, reality. But that's what happens when, you're so used to comfort and pleasure. So we're not going to, stay upon them that smite, all right, which is the oppressor. We're going to stay upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. That's who we're going to rely upon. Okay. So going back, it talks about the just living by his faith. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. That's why he got all these different wars going on. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. All this bloodshed in the world is because of his evil covetousness, his desire to, take land and take all the resources and hoard it to himself, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations. And that's why you now got a United Nations, all these different governments succumbing to the powers that be. And then they come up with these world solutions and initiatives. And it's all basically to give power, grant power to the ones at the top to control the rest of the world. The World Economic Forum. And heapeth unto him all people. That's the United Nations. Shall not all these take up a parable against them, and a taunting proverb against them, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Further putting the world into debt, making everybody impoverished, while he gets super richer and richer. All these corporations getting richer and richer, while they're, drying up their employees, not paying them what, what their labor is worth, which is why these people are, they threatening strikes. They're going on strikes. People just leaving and quitting their jobs, their 9 to 5s. That's why it says in James 5, how you rich men, talking about their gold and their silver being, moth eaten and corrupted and rusted. So he got a lot to pay for, man, because he caused all this world poverty. The health, the mental health, and the poverty is because of you devils. Because you done rob the planet Earth. You spreading all these diseases. All this debt is because of you, your greed. All right? Setting up the Federal Reserve, setting up these credit-based currencies that have no value to it. And lending and using that to lend to the people to further keep people in debt to you. And now the world is growing sick, man. Sick and tired. So they know what's getting ready to happen. The hands of the wicked is getting ready to come upon them. All right, talking about the toilers, the laborers. Shall they now rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? All these different nations, man. That's why they finna gang up on Israel, because they didn't had it up to there with them small hats. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. They have enough wealth to be able to distance themselves from all the calamities that are happening. It says that in Psalms, the 73rd chapter, about the prosperity of the wicked and how they're never in trouble like men, neither are they plagued. And, they can get away on, remote islands. They can go into these underground bunkers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Netanyahu is getting ready to get sent down there. Because this devil, he made too many enemies. Everything is all one-sided. So the world is getting ready to come against them, man. But anyway, going back to this assembly report, this is what they're trying to come up with. Universal basic income, the stigmatizing mental health conditions, and facilitating access to green spaces, allowing to reconnect to nature as priority interventions. The vicious cycles connecting poverty to mental health problems are the high price we pay for the current focus on stimulating competition and performance in a society obsessed with increasing total economic output. These cycles can be broken provided we put well-being above endless quest for economic growth. Well-being. This is part of their sustainable developmental goals of the Agenda 2030 to curb poverty. So it's right on cue. They cause the problem, see the reaction from the people, and then they bring their solution. All right, so this devil, he's been mapped out, man. How are the things that Esau searched out? How is hidden things sought out beneath? All right. So when he tried to come with this, don't believe him. Proverbs 23 and verse 6, it says, eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. Because he's thinking of throwing you into that pit, putting you into his trap. So, we can't be ignorant of Shaitan's devices. So this is his problem, reaction, solution scenario. All right. We know that mental health is an issue. It's a crisis. And we believe it's poverty that facilitates this condition. You know? So here he comes to the rescue, being the damn devil, being deceptive. So I'll try to see if I can link this in the description if brothers, want to read through it. But this was in a PDF file. All right, the United Nations General Assembly. Matter of fact, that's what I'll do. I'll see if I can find the link and I'll put it in the description. And Lord willing, y'all will edify them and give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. To the next one, Shalom.